Shabbat Shalom. In this week's doubleheader of Parshat Acharei Mot Kedoshim, we are filled with different mitzvot. And one of the most fascinating commandments is the following. Lo takom velo titor et bnei amecha. Do not bear a grudge or take revenge against your fellow. V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Ani Hashem. I am the Lord your God. So what does it mean, or what's the difference between titor and tikom? Bearing a grudge and taking revenge. The great commentator Rashi explains the following. Quoting from the Talmud in Masechet Yoma, he explains two scenarios. Scenario number one. Reuven comes to Shimon. Can I borrow your sickle? Shimon replies, no. The next day, Shimon comes to Reuven and says, can I borrow your hatchet, your axe? Reuven retorts, I'm not going to lend you my axe because you never let me borrow the sickle. So this is called avenging. Bearing a grudge, explains the Talmud, is the following. Reuven says to Shimon, can I borrow the sickle? Shimon says no. The next day, Shimon comes to Reuven and says, can I borrow the axe? Reuven says to him, I'm not going to behave like you did to me. I'm going to let you use mine because I'm a nice guy. That's called bearing a grudge, not letting it go. And then the Torah says, V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor as yourself. So what exactly is the connection between these two rules? Bearing grudge and taking revenge on the one hand, and loving your neighbor as you'd love yourself. Rabbi Mordechai Kamenetsky offers a fantastic insight into this particular question. He explains like this. When we bear a grudge, we are upset about what the person has done. When we're trying to seek revenge, we feel that we've been wrong, that we have to do something about it. He shares the following story, which is just fantastic. Prior to World War II, there lived a great rabbinic personality named Rabbi Elchanan Wasserman. And Rabbi Wasserman was collecting money for his yeshiva. He was traveling in the United States and met up with one of his students. And the student said to him, Rabbi Wasserman, I've got just the guy. He gives so much charity to so many people. He definitely will help us out. Anyway, they go to the house. And lo and behold, not only do they not get a large donation, they leave empty-handed. The poor student is mortified that this guy has let the great Rosh Yeshiva down. But Rav Wasserman smiles and says, it is what it is. And the student looks at Rav Wasserman and says, I don't understand. How come you're not upset about this guy? So Rav Wasserman gives the following insight, which is one, if you pay attention to, can really transform the way you view relationships. Rav Wasserman says, imagine you're Moshe Rabbeinu. And Moshe Rabbeinu gets the message from God, find a man called Bezalel, because Bezalel is going to build the Mishkan. So Moshe goes off, and he arrives at the camp, and he walks into the tent and says, are you Bezalel? And the man looks at him and says, no. And he walks to another person, and he goes, are you Bezalel? And the man says, no. So says Rav Wasserman, does Moses get upset with these two guys because they're not Bezalel? Of course not. That's ridiculous. So Rav Wasserman gives an insight. The world runs on certain principles. And the world runs in a way that certain people are going to be there to help you, to get you through and resolve your certain issue. And if this person is not there to help you, means that this person is not the one chosen to help you. So when we ask for help, like Reuven did on Shimon, and Shimon lets him down and can't help him, Must he bear a grudge? No. Obviously, Shimon wasn't the address. V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha means, love your neighbors yourself, means, do you get upset by the fact that you don't have an axe, or you don't have a sickle, or you don't have a whatever? No, you don't have it. You don't get upset with yourself. You try and find someone to help you. Treat the person the same way. If the person can't help you or chooses not to help you, that person is not the address. That is such a powerful message during the time that we are in now, called Sfirat HaOmer. Because during the time of Sfirat HaOmer, we grow our hair, we don't shave. There's no simcha, there's no celebrations, there's no weddings. Why? Because of the death of the Talmidei Rabbi Akiva, the students of Rabbi Akiva. And the Torah and the Talmud says, what was their great sin? Lo nahagu kavod zel hazeh. They did not respect each other. How could it be that their great Rebbe, their great teacher, Rabbi Akiva, had said, V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor as yourself, is the greatest principle of the entire Torah? How come they did not get the message? They did not understand the juxtaposition of revenge and grudges to how you treat yourself. So kamocha, focus on yourself. If you're not going to be a grudge again, be upset with yourself for not having an axe or sickle, don't be a grudge against somebody else. If you're not going to be upset, why must you be upset with another person for perceived injustices, for having let you down? You don't get upset with yourself. No need to get upset with another person. Lo tikom v'lo titor. Don't be a grudge. Don't take revenge. V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Love your neighbor as you would yourself. If you're able to forgive yourself, certainly you can forgive your friend. Shabbat Shalom.